What's up, everybody? This your boy Al.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're going to be talking about
the wait.
waiting.
Waiting. Everybody hates it, but we got to do it. We waiting.
Let's wait a while. Before it's too late, let's wait a while. Before we go too far.
It's time to settle down.
Everybody gather round.
It's the Allen and Erika show. We gon' talk about it,
So let's talk about it.
Allen and Erika show. Conversations now, mixed with love and laughter. Allen and Erika show. We gon' talk about it,
So let's talk about it.
Allen and Erika, Allen and Erika, Allen and Erika, the show.
Babe.
Yeah.
It's an open, not a song.
What? That's what I do.
All right, today we're going to be talking about waiting, and some ironic stuff just happened. We had to actually wait till my computer rebooted so we can talk about wait. So it just kind of gave us a preview of what we're going to be doing and talking about today, waiting. Like,
That
what
was
the hell?
the quickest
hell
example
are
of
y'all
waiting.
saying?
You can't do a show about waiting without having to wait.
To wait. Ridiculous, man. But we're going to get right into waiting. You know, I had to wait a long time for her. I had to wait a long time to walk. I had to wait a long time to talk. I had to wait a long time to get in the position that I am now today. It's worth the wait. And I had to wait a long time to wait, you know?
Okay.
Just like, I don't like waiting, but, you know, it happens.
You like Jay-Z? I got no passion.
Yeah.
I got no patience.
Uh-oh.
And I hate waiting.
Oh, get your ass in here.
And let's ride.
Yeah, yo, I know she spit bars. She spit bars, yo.
No, that's such a mantra of the truth, right? Like I really do hate waiting. I don't know anybody who loves to wait, but I have learned to make decisions in the wait. Like Alan said, any other time we start this show, we do our stand up, we come right to the table, everything flows, but not today.
Not today.
Today, not only did we have to reboot the computer once, but 3 times. And ironically enough,
That's
the
all right.
third time didn't reboot correctly until we worked together.
Till we work together.
The first 2 times I let him troubleshoot alone. And then the third time I said, well, wait a minute, what is that little thing? How about that? And he followed my suggestion and it worked. And we had to wait 8 minutes for a software update.
Just notice that the little thing she was pointing at was the computer, not nothing on
Oh,
me.
ain't nothing. When I say, never mind. So we always get off track, you know? So here we are back. And he said he was starting to get frustrated. And he was like, why is all of this happening? I said, because we're doing a show about waiting. But it's the decisions that you make in the wait. Right after that, he made a decision. Well, you know what? I'm going to edit a video while we wait.
Yeah.
And he was able to edit the entire video. Me,
Yeah.
I just sat back and relaxed and decided that I'm going to enjoy this time with my husband.
Yeah.
I'm just going to enjoy sitting here, not having anything to do, and being next to the man that I love. So we do have to wait. There's no way around it. We have to wait. We have to wait. We have to wait. But what decisions are you making in the wait, right? You talked about having to wait a long time to walk.
Yeah.
Are you talking about when you were a toddler?
Yeah. I remember that. I was like, man, I can't wait to walk, man, because when I start walking, I want to run.
You remember this?
Yeah, I remember. It
How
was-
old were you when you started walking?
I was like -1.
So you started walking before the age of 1.
No, I was thinking of waiting to walk, not actually
So
walking.
before you were born, you were already thinking about walking?
Yeah.
That sounds like anxiety.
First of all, I'm going to tell y'all something.
Did
And
you
y'all
have
might-
anxiety in the
No,
womb?
hold up. I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all ain't going to
Okay.
believe this. Y'all ain't going to believe this shit. I walked out of my mom's womb.
Oh my God.
I strolled out that motherfucker because that's how I roll. I walked out.
I,
Swag.
I feel like this is fine.
Swag.
Okay. Back to waiting. What did you realistically wait a long time for? You said you waited a long time for me. What do you mean?
Yeah, I waited a long time for you. I've through my trying years of being a teenager. Trying years,
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
We'll evolve. Oh, we ain't singing. Oh, so through my teenage years and through my 20s and everything, I did some things as a kid, as a young adult, But in all, man, I prayed and wanted a woman like her. So through them times, I think I waited. Well, I don't think I waited. I did. I waited for a love like ours. I waited for this. And a lot of times, man, it's things that you wait for, man, they come. They come to you, man. You just have to be patient. Be patient.
That's so true.
Oh, baby, be patient. And they'll come. They will come. So I waited. I waited a good time for Erika, not to discredit any of my past relationships, but
discredit them.
But I waited. I waited for my Gina right here, my Michelle Obama, my Claire Huxtable. You know what I'm saying?
Rolled into one.
You know what I'm saying? Now add Erika Irvin to the list. Cause she the bomb, man. She the bomb.
Thanks,
I was young, but I waited, man. It's a lot of times, and I waited to live in the house that I'm living in. You know what I'm saying? I waited to go on the vacations that I went on to meet this beautiful woman here. I waited. Man, I got a Gucci hat on. You know how long I waited for this hat? Just seriously, that's funny because when I was younger, I wanted this hat so bad, and I got it. But I got perks with it because, man, let me show y'all.
Oh, here we go.
I ain't trying to be funny, right. But I got these for my birthday.
No, that was just for no reason.
When we was in Philly cutting hair, it matched my hat, yo. It matched my hat.
Yes.
Hold up, but I ain't going in front.
My word.
I'm just saying, like we just came back from somewhere, but I got the belt.
Oh my God.
I got the belt.
Okay.
To go with the watch.
Right.
But these are all, I didn't buy this stuff today. This is old.
Oh my God.
This is old. But
the point is you waited. Yeah.
I waited for these things. Did I just go off on a whole waiting tangent?
No, but it's what you said had value.
I'm not done.
Okay. Go ahead.
My glasses is Gucci too. But go ahead.
Dang.
Waited for them too.
So the point, what I hear you saying is, and I do remember this, that
and I got the 84s too. Sorry, the 84s.
Okay.
Go. No more interruptions. Go ahead.
Okay. So you wanted Gucci's.
Yeah.
For a long time. Yeah. And now you have more than enough.
More than enough.
Gucci, like way more.
Yeah.
Probably over 8 Gucci pieces, including the Gucci shirt. That's a real Gucci shirt, by the way, that you're wearing. I know.
I'm sorry. I ain't even go there.
Help us, Father. But the point is you do have to wait. Yeah. And if you wait, look at everything that's on the other side, right? Like, it's not about materialistic, but that was important to Allen. To me, he worked really hard, and that was something that he wanted. He wanted Gucci's. And now, God put us in a position where that was nothing. Yeah. Like, getting Gucci was really nothing. And so now you have more than enough. But first you had to go through the wait. And you went through a lot of waiting before you got Gucci. So I'll talk about even one of the first times that you bought your own, right? Because when I met you, you had one pair of Gucci's.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. And so the second pair, funny story, it's a limited edition of Gucci's. And Gucci should be paying us, but it's a point to it. Mm-hmm. There's a special edition of Gucci's, and they don't drop. Like, you can't find them anywhere. So I'm going to do a parallel story to mine. This is my second marriage, as most of you guys know. And in the first marriage, I worked in community relations for ABC. And so I knew a lot of event venues, right? And I just had this feeling that my wedding venue was supposed to be surrounded by windows. It's something that I couldn't explain. I just knew it. So I went to the venue that made the most sense to me because it had a lot of windows. And as soon as I stepped in there and I was like, no, this isn't it. This isn't it. I went all around Connecticut searching for this venue. Couldn't find it. No. Then the wedding got moved to Chicago. Went around Chicago. Couldn't find it. Mm-hmm. We ended up using a venue. The venue was absolutely stunning, but I knew that wasn't it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't it. But I went along with it. So many things on my wedding day didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. There were certain things that happened, and I said, this isn't supposed to be happening. And so fast forward to now, 8 years later. It is 8 years later. 8 years. And we put together a seamless wedding. That would be a whole nother show if I told you about all the blessings that we encountered along the way, things that you knew would only be from God. But we're putting this wedding together, and I tell Allen, you need to go pick out a pair of shoes, because he had a custom-made suit. And so I said, you need to pick a pair of shoes. He said, what kind of shoes? I said, I don't know. Pick what kind of shoes you want. And he goes on to Nordstrom website, and boom.
The 84s.
The limited edition of Gucci sneakers are there, right? So just funny story. And so now we go look at the wedding venue that we have only seen through pictures and videos because it's in another country. Mm-hmm. And we go up there. We arrive days before our guests do. So we go up there and we look at the venue space. And my husband goes, babe, look, the windows. Wow. I wasn't even thinking about it, wasn't looking for it, forgot about it. But the windows appeared when I was no longer actively waiting for them. So sometimes things are just about the wait. Like sometimes you just got to wait. And I bawled my eyes out on the morning of our wedding. I could not believe how beautiful of a place it was, how beautiful the weather was.
Cancun.
It was awesome for me. And I just remember saying, I can't believe that God kept me for a moment such as this. But you got to get through the wait.
Right.
Sometimes things just take a long time. And during my wait, I endured a lot of pain, but you have to wait. So you waited for Gucci's, right? You waited for me.
Yeah.
While you were waiting for those things, do you remember the journey being hurtful at times?
Being hurtful.
Or uncomfortable or hard?
Yeah, well, I mean, when you wait for things, it does hurt because you got to go through to get through. You got to go through. So if you waiting to get to the other side of a situation, you're going to experience a lot of pain before you get to the joy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't quoting Rob Bass or anybody, but that's what happens when you go through the wait. So yeah, there were a couple of things that hurt me, but sometimes some things, man, I just brushed it off. Brush my shoulders off. I ain't gonna really let it affect me. But internally, it kind of hurt. But I just feel like if I just forget about it, it'll go away. It's like pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, ow, it hurt. It went away.
I ask because most people do endure a lot of pain during the wait. Right. But when we're in the wait, right, when it's the most hurtful, this is the time to ask yourself, what shall I do? If I am in a position where I'm not where I want to be, what am I to do in the wait?
Let go and let God.
Let go and let God.
That's the easiest answer.
That's the easiest answer, but sometimes we got to be a little more practical. So I'll use us as an example. Okay. While we were waiting for our audio to show up, right? No, that was a good answer. Perfect answer, actually. Cool. While we were waiting for our audio to show up, you made the decision, right, to edit a show. Yeah. I made the decision to enjoy time with my husband. Sometimes we get more practical answers, like what are you supposed to do in the wait? Right now, Allen and I are waiting. Right. You're watching something right now that is happening in the wait. And while we are waiting, we are using our gifts and talents.
Yeah.
That's happening so they can sharpen, so that they can be better, so that they can get better. I'm waiting to be promoted, but there are things that I'm learning along the way, and they hurt.
Yeah.
They hurt. They are uncomfortable, but I'm so grateful that God is building the muscle in my shoulders for me to carry the thing that I am waiting for. Mm-hmm. So I just want us to remember that in the pain and the discomfort of wait, that we also remember to ask those practical questions like, God, what do you want me to do in the wait? Mm-hmm. Yes, let go and let God, and that's an awesome answer, but we need some practical things to do in the wait. Can I share something else? I know I'm loquacious on this show. Okay.
Go ahead.
But
'Cause I'm waiting to talk.
okay, see, it's all about waiting. But my husband is a very patient man, and he talks with discipline, and he is very literal and specific about the words that come out of his mouth. And because of that, he can take his time to speak. I am a fluent speaker. I talk all the time. And as a result, I want answers all the time. So I made a deal with myself to reduce my frustration. I'm going to talk. And when I want to hear an answer from my husband, I'm just going to answer it myself in my mind so that I can stop being frustrated with him and something miraculous happened for me. Once I made that decision, I answered it for myself, and then my husband finally responded. I didn't know all this time that if I just shut up, that he would have a chance to respond. And it made me think about Jesus's promise to be in the gap. I feel like me answering myself was him standing in the gap. Like, I'll stand in the gap. I'll be the buffer to your anxiety, because that's truly what that is. I'm talking and I instantly want a response. So I feel like God's love stood in the gap until my husband answered. So I got a win-win. So another example of waiting. Okay, I'm done.
Wow, ladies, did y'all hear that? Did you hear what she said? A woman said that. She took accountability for some stuff, y'all. So, you know what I'm saying? So women, y'all can watch this. Watch, wait, listen, and learn. Because she kicks knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and waiting is, it also goes with, she's the civil rights struggle in America. I mean, you got to understand, like, we waited a long time as Black Americans to get our piece of the pie. I mean, is it a big piece or is it a little piece? But it's just a piece. You know, Martin Luther King went through a lot of hard times in the wait to let freedom ring. And they threw rocks at my man. They sick dogs on fire hoses. He got locked up. He did a lot for that. But we're reaping the benefits of what he waited for. I mean, what he dreamt about and did. And we had to wait for that, you know, and a lot of people that were sitting at home watching television, watching him go through that stuff, they were just sitting back waiting, you know, for freedom to ring, you know, and not to leave out Malcolm X, man, he went through a lot of waiting too, man. I mean, he went to jail. He learned a lot of stuff in jail, and through that, and for him going to jail and dying, that was a long wait. It was a wait for him to get to the point where he became from Malcolm Little to Malcolm X, you know, and it was a long wait. And just a double entendre, it was a lot of weight on him, on both of them, you know. Yeah. Just to have the weight of waiting weighed upon them as they wait.
Yep.
Wait. You know what I mean? So
come on, lyricist.
Yeah, man, I just had to flip that. You know what I mean? But but we do a lot of waiting, you know. Down here in the South, man, I've learned patience. I've learned patience down here because these Southern, they do not know. I mean, they know how to drive, but it's annoying because I'm from the city and everything is fast. But being down here has taught me how to wait.
Yes.
Like, these people stop at yellow lights and they yield at green lights. Like, they anticipate the green light to change so they can stop. You know how frustrating that is? It's frustrating.
Coming from the city.
From the city, yeah. But I've recently realized that when I'm driving sometimes and they do that, I just sit back and I'm like, yo, I know they're going to do it. So I stop. But I'm getting used to it now, and it's teaching me patience. It's teaching me to wait. So in my journey through life, you know, making it into this movie business, and TV and commercials and everything, I've noticed, you know, you have to wait and when certain people stop at your yellow light, it's a reason. When they yield at your green, it's a reason for that to happen. I always do that. It's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could leave out this room right now and stub your toe. You're like, so that for that 3 seconds that you stubbed your toe, you're like, and then you're like, all right, you shake it off. Then you walk down the steps. You get in your car, you turn your car on, and you drive. You get to the light. And next thing you know, a truck comes, boom, and hits the car in front of you. Man, ain't you glad you waited? that little 3 seconds of time may have saved your life. So when you're in the wait, just look at it as something's happening for you to slow down, because you want the cake to finish baking. Something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. But just wait. Don't get frustrated in the wait, because it's all by design. It's happening for a reason. So you got to wait, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm loquacious. I'm on my soapbox.
Okay.
And that is waiting.
Well, I like what you said, because what I hear you saying is the delays are sometimes deliberate.
Right.
Or delays are deliberate. Like you said, those 3 seconds could have been a matter of life and death.
Yeah.
But when delays are deliberate, or even when delays are deliberate, it does get heavy.
Yeah.
It gets heavy. And we're talking about the weight of the wait, right? What does that mean? People say, oh, it's heavy. It is heavy to wait, because you are fighting to hold on to your hope. And sometimes the dream seems so far away that you feel tired in your mind. I realize for me that's the biggest way that the enemy can get in my way, is me overthinking. Just overthinking, or always telling myself that I deserve something before the time. No, you don't deserve anything until it's time. And the hardest thing is to stay in the moment. The delays are deliberate. They are deliberate. They are deliberate. And you have to make sure that you don't get heavy in your mind. So in this moment, I do hope that you pray and ask God to help restore your energy, restore your hope, and restore your passion. I think it's interesting that in that Jay-Z bar, he says, I have no passion first, before he says, I have no patience. And it struck me, because for us to stay in purpose, we have to keep our passion. And the biggest thing to make passion disappear is waiting. You get tired. You get weary. And for those of us that are spiritual, I do like to quote on scriptures, even though I'm not in a box. I don't think anybody deserves to be in a box, but I do think that the scripture has a lot of good wisdom in it. And so I'll say one of the scriptures that says, I'll wait on the Lord, right? Now, people can say like, oh, you just sitting on the side and you got to do your part. But if you look up that word in its original language, wait on the Lord means to bind up and twist with him. It means that I'm so in his face that when I'm worried or I'm frustrated or I'm concerned, I'm talking to him. Hey, what about this? Hey, I feel this. Hey, I feel that. And if you stay in God's face, he does give you the peace to wait. You just got to wait and make sure that the weight of waiting doesn't become so heavy that you give up. It's a gift that I saw, or not a gift, maybe a video on Instagram, and it said, tomorrow is hard. It said the day after tomorrow is harder, but the day after that is peace. The question is, can you make it to that day? So just make sure you don't get heavy in your mind that you start to give up. If you start to let go of that dream, or you feel yourself saying, I don't even want to do that no more. Guilty. I have said that. I don't want to do that no more. This latest thing that I'm in beat me up so bad that I was convinced that I no longer even wanted to be in the industry. When coming to find, it was a lie. It's a lie from my enemy. When we get attacked, when we get beat down, when we get falsely accused, it makes us want to give up the hope. But we're waiting. Oh, we're waiting because we need that strength. We need the tough skin. We need the discipline. We need for me, the confidence of knowing who you are despite everything around you. What you going to do when everybody accuse you of the opposite of who you really are?
What you gonna
Will
do,
you
boo?
remember?
What you gonna
Will
do,
you
boo?
remember who you are?
What you gonna do, boo?
Those are things that you build up in under the weight of the weight. So those are things to remember. Don't get heavy. You are strong enough to carry and handle the weight of the weight, which brings us to our final point. Once I have gone through all those things, once I have waited a long time for all the things that I wanted, once I have asked and have done the things that I'm supposed to do during the wait, once I have carried and fought, not by myself, but to make sure that I can handle the weight of the wait, we will finally get to worth the wait. Sometimes it's worth the wait. I'll use my wedding as an example. It was worth the wait. I had an ugly cry I mean, an ugly. It was far beyond anything I could ever imagine. I still feel that way when I think about Allen. There is no way I could come up with the words to even ask God for a husband like him. I don't have it in my vernacular. It's not in my bandwidth to even ask God for him. I wouldn't even know how to describe it, what to say, but I had to wait, and I'm able to celebrate it, acknowledge it, be grateful for it. Like, it only happens in the wait. It happens in the wait. Wow. So you are a prime example of something that is worth the wait for me.
Wow. She said all that about me, and I was going to go into my acting career. So
you should.
No, but
that's okay.
That's crazy. You know what? I said all that in the beginning.
You did.
Boom. My acting career. I waited.
Yes.
Now, worth the wait in this industry right here. It's cool. I get to meet a lot of people. I'm getting my name put on a callback list now, and it's definitely worth it. Like when I first got here. Remember that first time I was going to, I think I did P-Valley, and I was so stressed. I was like, yo, we got to do that. And you was like, dude, we ain't even unpacked the house yet.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but I think I need to go. And I'm like, no, you just wait.
We were still in Philadelphia.
Yeah. I was like, no, I think I need to go. And I was getting frustrated. I was getting impatient, and my anxiety was like high. Yeah. But, you know, now I look back at that. I'm like, yo, I'm glad I waited because I've been put in a lot of positions in acting that I wasn't ready for, and I'm gonna give you one example. It was a time I did a tape, well, not a table read, but I had to rehearse. I had to rehearse
with the main cast.
With Ludacris. Yeah, I'm just put it out there. I had to rehearse with Ludacris, and I'm standing next to this dude like, yo, but was I ready? No.
You were ready. You know why you were ready?
All right, but I wasn't prepared.
Nope.
I was ready.
I'm going to challenge that. You know why I say that?
Why?
Because you told the story on this show. Do you remember when you are a natural born singer? Okay. You were called to sing in a booth and you got starstruck. Remember?
Yeah.
Because Will Smith was in the building. Jazzy Jeff was in the building. You got starstruck. You replayed that story over and over in your mind. So no matter what you were feeling standing next to Ludacris, you never let it show.
Yeah.
You never let it show. So you were ready.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
You waited, though.
Yeah, I did wait.
You waited.
And it was cool because, like I said, I was standing next to him and I had to rehearse with this dude. And I was like, wow.
For days, not just one day.
Yeah, I was on the set with this dude for 3 months straight. You know, because Little Rel ain't show up. So, you know, I just had to take over some of his lines. So that's what happened. So, and Rel, I know you ain't watching this, but if you are, this was you on that set. So I had to go ahead and it's all right. But anyway, I had to rehearse with Ludacris, and I was like, wow. But the good thing is, I feel like, yo, like I waited a long time to get to this moment. Now, I've been around celebrities, but this was a whole different genre. It was movies and acting and all that stuff. And I'm like, wait, so now I'm still in the wait because I'm waiting for that role to come where they say, we need you for this role for a show. I just waited for a while, and I did background on a commercial, and I didn't expect anything. But then the producers called me and said, "Hey, we want you to be the face in the commercial." I said, "Whoa!" Yep. So now I got into the commercial. Now
from the background to the lead,
right? So now after I left, you did such a good job, man. We're gonna keep you in the database. And I'm just at every level. I'm waiting for the next thing, but I'm not impatient. I'm not impatient. I'm waiting for the next thing because I know, and I'm saying this to y'all, I know that is going to happen. I'm going to get a role on something big. Like y'all see me in a lot of stuff like BMF, in Tyler Perry movies. But the thing that's coming up, it's not happening now, but it's manifesting in somebody's head. They're going to say, hey, we want Al to do that because I like him, and I'm just waiting. And that's and at the end of the day, this is all going to be worth the wait. Absolutely. Even this show, they see us on this show. Some people not watching. Some people may be hating. Some people just may not be interested in watching two positive couples. Two positive people.
Like, who else is that?
Right. They go,
what is happening?
Two positive people that is actually a couple that's trying to, make a change in the world. They probably don't want to hear that. But guess what? Somebody's going to see it. And while we're waiting, It's going to happen
While we're waiting.
while we're waiting.
Yep.
So it's all worth the wait.
Yep.
It's all worth the wait, baby.
Yep. And don't forget, the wait also builds a muscle. The best thing that could build you is resilience.
Yeah,
So if you feel like
resistance.
something is resistance. Thank you,
Yeah.
babe. If you feel like something is holding you back, that's resistance. And the more resistance you get, the stronger you become. So keep waiting. Just keep waiting, guys. Y'all can do this.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, when you like a bow and arrow, you pull
That's
it back.
right. You pull it back and you're like, I just want to
Yeah.
do it. I
You
just
keep
want to
pulling
be
it
it.
back.
I just
Don't
want to
pull-
do
you
it.
pull
I
it
just,
back.
nuh-uh.
And then when you pull you back,
You
let
get
go.
stronger and better. And
Yeah.
baby, when it's your turn, when it's your turn, you'll be able to say it was worth the wait.
Yeah, so don't get discouraged in the wait.
Yes.
Because it's going to happen. And if it don't happen, it's not meant for you. Some is going to be a sign that's going to tell you to walk away, fold them or hold them. But in the wait, just know you planted the seed. You
See
said,
it
hey,
all the
this
way
is what I
through.
want. This is what I want. And just wait, man. It's going to come. It's going to come.
See it all the way
I'm
through.
about to go play the lottery after this. It's going to happen.
Yes, it
I've been waiting a long time to hit the numbers.
Yep.
The millions, right? I ain't trying
Yeah.
to. I don't want no $7
Yeah,
back. I
no.
want the millions, yo.
And only based off of what's owed to us.
Yeah.
The lottery was a system stolen by African Americans anyway. So on that is what I stand for.
Shout
my
out to Bumpy
reparations.
Johnson.
Okay. Okay. All right. So that's going to do it. That's our show.
That's our show, man. We was talking about waiting, and I know y'all was waiting for the end, so I'm just going to end it off like this and say, I'm Al.
And I'm Erica.
And this is the
Allen and Erika show.
Wait
Until
for it.
next time.
Wait for it. And we out.